Have you ever wondered how to become the best version of yourself? How to recreate yourself, become stronger and wiser to face any challenges that life throws at you? This path is not always easy, but it is possible. In this video, we will unlock the keys to personal evolution, exploring the ancient philosophy of Stoicism. Stoicism is not just a teaching about being strong in times of crisis, it's a guide to being strong in everyday life. We will show you how, through self-control, mindfulness, and the power of the mind, you can achieve complete inner balance and confidence. No matter where you are right now, Stoicism will guide you every step of the way. If you're ready to begin your transformation, stay with us, and you will learn how to reshape your life and create something unshakable from it. Stoicism, as a philosophy, came to us from ancient Greece and Rome, but its teachings have not lost their relevance. It is not just a set of theories or moral instructions. It is a practical guide for anyone who wants to live consciously and with inner peace. The evolution of a Stoic begins with accepting responsibility for their thoughts and actions. A Stoic does not blame external circumstances for their failures, understanding that only they have control over their perception of the world and their reaction to it. Seneca the Younger, one of the greatest Stoics, said, "It is not events that cause us pain, but our attitude toward them." This simple thought forms the foundation of Stoic philosophy, our ability to control emotions and not let the external world destroy our inner balance. This is the essence of personal evolution. A Stoic teaches not how to avoid difficulties, but how to perceive them as opportunities for growth. The process of Stoic evolution involves continuous work on oneself, an ongoing development of inner strength and mindfulness. The Stoic understands that all external events, whether success or failure, joy or pain, are simply part of the great flow of life. What matters is not what happens to us, but how we react to it. The Stoic learns to view the world not through the lens of emotional reactions, but from the standpoint of reason and calmness. Each day, the Stoic refines their mind, practicing mindfulness and self-control. Unlike most people who are swayed by temporary emotions and immediate desires, the Stoic strives to be independent of external circumstances, instead becoming internally free and strong. This journey begins with taking personal responsibility for one's inner world. What does this mean in practice? It means that every person striving for Stoic evolution must learn to see problems not as obstacles, but as opportunities for improvement. Every difficulty becomes a chance to develop character. For example, a tough conversation with a colleague or a failure in a project. This is not a catastrophe, but an opportunity to test your resilience, demonstrate tolerance and restraint, and maintain inner calm. An important part of Stoic evolution is the ability to create an iron mind, an unshakable inner core that does not succumb to external pressure. This iron mind does not mean the absence of emotions or feelings, but rather the ability to control them. The Stoic understands that not everything in life is within our control, but they control their perception and reaction. Developing the iron mind allows them to remain resilient in any circumstance and not lose self-control. Stoics believe that on the path of personal evolution, it's not the result that matters, but the process itself. In this context, life becomes not a struggle for external achievements, but a journey of continuous self-improvement. It's a constant work on oneself, requiring patience, discipline, and a willingness for self-criticism. Stoics advise daily self-reflection, asking themselves, what can I improve in my behavior? What can I do better today than I did yesterday? This helps a person evaluate their actions and choose the right direction on their path to development. An integral part of Stoic philosophy is recognizing one's weaknesses and limitations. The Stoic is not afraid to admit their mistakes and learn from them. This is a key distinction of Stoicism from many other philosophies and religions that set the ideal at an unreachable height. The Stoic knows that the ideal is a process, not a final goal. So what makes someone a Stoic? It's not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. It's the ability to manage oneself, to consciously accept each event in life, and to use it for personal growth. The evolution of a Stoic is a journey of self-awareness and self-improvement that never ends, but makes us stronger and wiser with each passing day. How does one start this journey? The first step is recognizing that we can change ourselves, that evolution is not only physical or external transformation, but also the transformation of our inner world. The Stoic understands that they hold the key to their future, and that key is in their hands. With this beginning of the journey, we can move on to the next stage, understanding how to apply the principles of Stoicism to achieve mindfulness and wisdom in our lives. Mindfulness is the foundation of Stoicism. For the Stoic, mindfulness means the ability to be fully present in every moment, to focus on what is happening here and now, and not to be distracted by external irritants that can disturb our inner balance. It's the ability to let go of worries about the future and regrets about the past, in order to live in the present with full understanding and control over our own thoughts and emotions. Stoics teach us that our reaction to events is more important than the events themselves. Seneca, one of the most famous Stoics, wrote, "We suffer not from what happens, but from how we perceive it." This thought lies at the heart of Stoic mindfulness practice. If we learn to control our reactions and emotions, we will be able to see the world more clearly and not allow external circumstances to affect our inner state. The application of Stoic mindfulness begins with the recognition that most of our fears, worries, and anxieties are simply our thoughts about the future or memories of the past. The Stoic understands that these thoughts are not always objective and are often exaggerated. When we dwell on what could have happened or what has already passed, we lose the power to act in the present. To learn to live mindfully, Stoics suggest several practices that help develop attention and presence in the moment. One of them is regular self-reflection and meditation. Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, wrote down their thoughts every day, reflecting on what happened, what they could have done better, and how they can become better people. This is not just a way to record feelings, but also an opportunity to set goals and approach life consciously. Another important practice related to mindfulness is the ability to find calm in the most difficult situations. The Stoic understands that they cannot control everything that happens to them or around them, but they can control how they react to it. When external circumstances present challenges, the Stoic remains calm and resolute because they understand that their inner world is always in their hands. One of the most powerful tools of mindfulness and Stoicism is the inner dialogue. This is the practice where a person constantly reminds themselves of their principles, values, and what truly matters. In moments of stress or anxiety, the Stoic turns to their inner voice to remind themselves that the only thing they can control is their attitude toward the situation. This allows them to stay calm, regardless of external circumstances. Stoicism teaches that mindfulness is not just observing the external world, but also deeply understanding one's own thoughts and emotions. For example, if a Stoic faces a conflict, their first reaction is not to blame the other person or the circumstances, but to ask themselves, "Why do I feel this way?" This helps them see the true causes of their reactions and work on them, rather than simply reacting to an external irritant. Mindfulness also helps Stoics develop the habit of living in accordance with their values and goals, rather than giving in to immediate desires. Stoics believe that, in order to achieve inner peace, it's important to understand that there are things in life we cannot control and things we can change. We cannot control the behavior of others, the weather, or the economy, but we can control our attitude toward these things. This understanding is the foundation of Stoic mindfulness. Every day, we must choose what is important for our inner world rather than what is influenced by external forces. For the Stoic, mindful living is not just a practical exercise, but a way of thinking. It is the ability to see the world without the filters of illusions, without imposed stereotypes or other people's opinions. Mindfulness gives the Stoic the opportunity to be authentic in every moment, to follow their beliefs, and to live in harmony with themselves. Marcus Aurelius, in his journal, wrote, "You can only control how you react to events, not the events themselves." This remark reflects the essence of Stoic mindfulness. The Stoic does not waste time worrying about what is beyond their control. Instead, they focus on how they can improve their reactions and how they can use any challenges for personal growth. Mindfulness also includes the ability to recognize one's weaknesses and mistakes. The Stoic is not afraid to see their flaws because they understand that it is part of the path to self-development. What matters is not that we make mistakes, but how we respond to our mistakes and what we do to become better. With the development of mindfulness comes the ability to accept. Acceptance is not passivity, but a conscious choice when we understand that we cannot change the past or control the future. It is the ability to let go of what is beyond our power and direct all our energy toward what we can change. Through mindfulness, we will learn to choose our path and make decisions based on rational analysis, not emotions. Thus, mindful living, as the Stoics teach, is the path to inner peace. It begins with a deep understanding that we can only control our perception of the world, our thoughts, and actions. The Stoic strives to live with a clear mind, not allowing external circumstances to interfere with their inner harmony. When we learn to live mindfully, we will be able to face any challenges with tranquility and self-confidence. And with this foundation of inner peace, we can move on to the next stage of our evolution, creating an iron mind, the foundation for resilience in the face of life's difficulties. The development of an iron mind is the foundation of Stoic practice, allowing us to maintain inner strength and resilience in the most challenging circumstances. It's not just the ability to remain unshaken, but also the skill of consciously managing our emotions, thinking clearly despite any external influences, and making rational decisions in moments of stress and uncertainty. The iron mind is the ability to be emotionally independent from the external world, achieving a state of inner freedom and stability. Stoics teach that the mind and emotions must work in harmony, not be in constant conflict. Uncontrolled thoughts can lead to emotional chaos. This doesn't mean that the Stoic completely suppresses their emotions, but rather that they understand that emotions are not facts, but reactions to events. The iron mind allows the Stoic to recognize their feelings, but not succumb to them. It teaches us that what matters is not what happens around us, but how we respond to it. The core principle of the iron mind is the ability to remain calm in any situation. When the Stoic faces a difficulty, they don't panic or lose self-control. They analyze the situation with a cool, clear mind and act rationally. This skill prevents fear or anger from taking over and instead directs the energy toward finding an effective solution to the problem. One example of how to develop an iron mind is the practice of awareness and acceptance that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control our reaction. This is an important aspect of Stoicism that helps a person build resilience and not depend on external circumstances. As Seneca said, "Nothing is so much to be feared as fear itself." When we understand that there's no point in worrying about what we can't change, we free ourselves from that fear and gain the strength to act. The iron mind also includes discipline. The Stoic understands that in order to maintain clarity of mind in any situation, they must train their willpower every day. This is a regular practice that requires constant self-control and the renunciation of immediate pleasures that may distract from long-term goals. The Stoic teaches themselves patience and resilience so that they don't give up at the first sign of difficulty. But the iron mind is not just the ability to endure difficult moments, but also the ability to be flexible and adapt. It is the acceptance that not everything in life will go as planned and the ability to respond calmly to changes. For example, if a failure or mistake occurs in life, the Stoic does not lose composure, but uses the experience for growth and improvement. The iron mind helps not only withstand the blows of fate, but also to overcome them with dignity and confidence. The practice of the iron mind also includes the art of acceptance. Stoics believe that the most important part of resilience is accepting the inevitable. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, unexpected events can always occur. The Stoic learns to meet these events with the same calmness as if they had chosen them themselves. This acceptance is not passive, but rather an active choice, where we consciously decide not to let external circumstances affect our inner world. The development of an iron mind is a long journey that requires daily effort and self-discipline. Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, advise practicing battle with inner weaknesses daily, beginning the day by reflecting on what challenges may arise and how to prepare for them. This helps develop inner strength and makes one less vulnerable to unexpected difficulties that may arise at any moment. The path to an iron mind is also connected with letting go of excessive attachments and dependencies. The Stoic understands that the important things in life are not material possessions, status, or recognition, but the ability to be independent and free from external influences. The iron mind helps the Stoic not to become attached to things that are beyond their control and not allow those things to control their emotions and actions. The essence of the iron mind is to be strong not only in moments of happiness, but also in moments of adversity. It's the ability to maintain clarity and calm when others lose their composure. And finally, it's the ability to behave with dignity, no matter what is happening around you. This means that the Stoic can remain resilient in the face of criticism, failure, or even personal tragedies because they possess an unshakable strength of mind within. The iron mind allows us not only to endure life, but to perceive it as a path full of opportunities for growth. This does not mean that the Stoic avoids emotions, but rather learns to control them, directing their energy toward what truly matters. This allows them to accept all events, whether good or bad, as opportunities for self-improvement. The iron mind is more than just resilience. It's the ability to see life in its true light, with clarity and without fear, embracing each moment as an opportunity for inner growth. This is the foundation upon which the Stoic worldview is built, and with each passing day, the person following this path becomes more resolute, calm, and confident. With this strong inner core, the Stoic is ready to move forward on the path to achieving wisdom and harmony. And in order to deepen this path further, we need to move to the next stage, the path of wisdom, how the Stoics apply philosophy in their everyday lives to achieve higher goals. Wisdom is not just the accumulation of knowledge, but the ability to apply that knowledge in our lives, guided by principles that provide us with stability and peace despite the external chaos. For the Stoics, wisdom is the ability to discern what we can change and what we cannot, and based on that, make the right decisions that lead us to inner peace and harmony. The paths of wisdom for the Stoic are, above all, the ability to live in harmony with nature and follow reason, not emotions or passions. In Stoic philosophy, there are several key principles that help us walk the path of wisdom. One of them is the understanding that wisdom lies in acknowledging our limitations and acting only within the possibilities we have. The Stoic understands that they cannot influence external circumstances, but they are able to control their actions and reactions to them. The path of wisdom begins with recognizing our nature as human beings, limited in time and space. The Stoics taught that a person cannot be omnipotent and all-powerful, and that true wisdom lies in accepting our limitations. This acceptance is not passive, but rather an active choice, where we decide to focus on what truly matters and ignore everything that distracts from the main purpose. Another important element of the path to wisdom is the ability to discern what truly matters in life and what is fleeting. The Stoic teaches that true wealth is not in possessing material things, but in possessing inner peace. Wisdom for the Stoic is the ability to find happiness and fulfillment in simple yet profound things, such as relationships with loved ones, personal growth, and understanding one's place in the world. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, said, "We do not live forever, and so every moment matters." This reminds us that wisdom is not something that comes with age or the accumulation of knowledge, but something we choose and embrace every day, based on values and an understanding of what truly matters. Life has meaning only when we realize its brevity and strive to make it more meaningful and worthy. The path of wisdom also includes the development of self-control. The Stoic teaches us that, in order to be wise, one must be able to manage their desires and passions. Stoicism is not about suppressing all feelings and desires, but about developing the ability not to be dependent on them. This means that the Stoic does not seek happiness in things or events that are beyond their control, but instead seeks to find harmony within themselves, in their relationship with the world and others. The Stoics emphasize the importance of self-knowledge as a crucial part of the path to wisdom. In order to be wise, one must not only analyze the world around them, but also constantly work on themselves. This involves regular practices of self-reflection, as well as honesty with oneself. The Stoic ask themselves, what are my weaknesses? How can I improve my actions? Where can I be more disciplined and rational? This constant self-knowledge helps develop inner harmony and makes the person stronger in solving life's problems. The wisdom of the Stoics is also tied to the art of acceptance and tolerance. The Stoic understands that not everything in life goes according to their plan, and that there will always be things in the world that cannot be changed. The most important part of wisdom is accepting the inevitable with peace and inner agreement. This allows the Stoic not to waste energy trying to change what is beyond their control, and to direct their energy toward improving what they can control. The path of wisdom is a continuous process. It is not a final goal, but a journey that a person walks throughout their life, with each day offering a chance to take steps toward improvement. The Stoics taught that what matters is not how many times we fall, but how many times we get back up. Wisdom lies in learning to view all events as lessons and opportunities for growth. This means that the Stoic does not fear mistakes, but instead uses them as a source of knowledge and strength. The meaning of the path of wisdom also lies in the ability to serve society, help others, and contribute to the collective well-being. For the Stoics, it was important not only to develop oneself, but also to support those around them. Wisdom, for them, meant being an example to others, passing on knowledge and helping in difficult moments. This requires not only inner strength, but also compassion, honesty, and love for the world. Thus, the paths of wisdom for the Stoic are the paths of mindfulness, self-control, acceptance, and selfless service. Wisdom does not come instantly. It develops with each day, with each decision, and with each action. The Stoic does not seek quick solutions to problems. They aim to become a better person, to develop discipline, reason, and honesty within themselves. On the path to wisdom, patience and self-discipline are the most important companions. They allow us to face any life trials with dignity and calmness. And when we have walked this path, we will be ready for the next step, understanding how to apply Stoicism in our daily lives, how to maintain inner balance despite the external chaos. Stoicism should not be just a theoretical set of principles that are only applicable in theory. It is a philosophy that finds its true expression in everyday life, in how we interact with the world, make decisions, and build relationships with others. Stoicism is not an abstraction, but a concrete practice that helps us live harmoniously, be honest with ourselves, and find inner balance regardless of external circumstances. One of the key aspects of Stoicism is the teaching that we cannot control external circumstances, but we can control our reaction to them. This idea underlies all practical aspects of the philosophy. If we cannot change the world around us, we must focus on what is within our control, our thoughts, feelings, and actions. This is the foundation of the Stoic approach to life, which allows us to maintain calm, confidence, and self-control, no matter what is happening in the world. One of the most powerful tools of practical Stoicism is the daily practice of self-reflection. Each Stoic, starting the day, asks themselves a few important questions. What can I do today to become better? How can I apply Stoic principles in my life today? This can be a simple moment when we reflect on our actions and prepare for the challenges the day will bring. Stoics, such as Marcus Aurelius, wrote down their thoughts and reflections daily to remind themselves of their goals and values, and also to understand that what matters is not just in life, but in each specific moment. One of the most important practices offered by Stoicism is the evening review, a moment when the Stoic mentally revisits what happened during the day and analyzes their actions. They ask themselves questions like, what did I do well? What could I improve? How can I avoid mistakes in the future? This helps us not only analyze our life, but also develop personal responsibility for our actions, learn from mistakes, and become better each day. For the Stoic, the most important practical tools are mindfulness and self-control. Mindfulness allows us not to be influenced by our emotions and external irritants. We must learn to notice our reactions and immediately take control of them. For example, if someone insults us, the Stoic will not react with anger or rage. Instead, they will pause, acknowledge their reaction, and make the decision to act with wisdom, not emotions. This does not mean that the Stoic does not experience emotions, but rather that they learn to manage them. Self-control is the ability to deny immediate pleasures in favor of long-term goals and values. The Stoic understands that what matters is not what they gain immediately, but what they build throughout their life. It is the ability to sacrifice temporary pleasures, such as overeating, laziness, or procrastination, in order to achieve something more important and meaningful. Self-control helps the Stoic adhere to their principles despite temptations and external distractions. Practical Stoicism also includes the ability to accept the inevitable. The Stoic understands that there are things they cannot change: death, illness, failures. Instead of worrying about these things, they learn to accept them as part of life and focus on what they can change. This ability to accept the inevitable frees us from fear and stress, allowing us to live in peace with ourselves and the world around us. The Stoics taught us that true wealth is not money or material possessions, but the ability to live in harmony with nature, control our emotions, and act with wisdom. In everyday life, this means being content with what we have and appreciating the moments that bring us inner peace. The Stoics warn us against the pursuit of wealth, fame, and recognition because they understand that these things will not bring us happiness. Happiness, for the Stoics, lies in inner harmony and the ability to be content with what we have and who we are. Practical Stoicism also involves working on relationships with others. The Stoic understands that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can choose how we react to their actions. This means that if someone acts unjustly, the Stoic will not retreat or become irritated. Instead, they will respond with restraint and wisdom, not allowing others' actions to disturb their inner peace. The Stoic understands that relationships with others are not determined by external factors, but by what we can control through our own actions and reactions. The Stoics also teach us the importance of simplicity. Practical Stoicism is about rejecting the unnecessary, both physically and mentally. The Stoic strives for minimalism in material things and thoughts. The fewer unnecessary things we have, the easier it is to focus on what matters. The fewer distractions we have, the simpler it is to live in harmony with ourselves and our goals. This means we don't cling to things that don't matter and don't let empty desires cloud our clarity of mind. By applying Stoicism in practice, we learn to be wise, calm, disciplined, and self-confident. The Stoics say life is not about what happens to us, but how we react to it. Applying Stoic principles in daily life helps us maintain inner peace and strength despite external challenges. With this understanding of practical Stoicism, we can move to the next step, applying Stoic philosophy to make decisions that lead to long-term success and harmony. Stoicism helps us build a life based on principles leading to long-term success and inner harmony. Applying Stoicism in decision-making helps us choose a path that brings satisfaction in the short term and fosters development and well-being in the future. One of the key principles emphasized by the Stoics is focusing on what we can control. Unlike many modern approaches that are results-oriented, Stoicism teaches us to focus on the process. This means that we should not expect immediate rewards for our efforts, but be prepared for the fact that successful changes in life take time and patience. The Stoics believe that long-term success is the result of consistent efforts aimed at improving oneself. When we apply Stoicism to achieve long-term success, we focus on internal growth and development rather than external recognition or material gains. This allows us to set goals that truly matter to us as individuals. For example, is it worth striving for professional success if it comes with constant stress and disrupts personal harmony? Or is it more important to choose a path that brings satisfaction while also maintaining our inner balance and life stability? The Stoics also teach us to make wise choices based on the principles of duty, justice, and virtue. When we face an important decision, Stoicism urges us to think about what is truly right and best for us and for society as a whole. For example, if faced with a difficult moral situation, Stoicism encourages us to think not about what will bring short-term gain, but what is morally right. This helps us make decisions that promote personal growth and harmony in life. The secret to long-term success, according to Stoicism, also lies in maintaining self-confidence and the ability to handle difficulties. The Stoics teach that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we perceive these events. When faced with a challenge, the Stoic does not view it as a failure, but as an opportunity for growth. This perception of change and challenges as opportunities for development allows us to move forward despite any obstacles. Stoics also teach us to develop willpower and discipline to make the right decisions even in moments of temptation or difficulty. This means that we must learn not to give in to immediate desires and not to procrastinate on important tasks. Instead of seeking short-term pleasures, we direct our efforts toward long-term goals that will contribute to our growth and happiness. For example, developing the habit of morning reflection or meditation helps us strengthen our discipline and focus daily. Applying Stoicism for long-term success is also tied to the ability to deal with failures. In each of our lives, there will be moments when things don't go according to plan, when we face losses or mistakes. However, Stoicism teaches us to view failures as an essential part of the path to success. What matters is not what happened, but how we react to it. Stoics say, do not worry about what you cannot change. Learn to accept what is unavoidable. This helps us not to dwell on failures, but to use them as experiences that contribute to our personal growth. Thus, Stoicism offers us powerful tools for creating long-term success and harmony in life. It is a philosophy that helps us not only survive difficulties, but also use them as means for growth and self-improvement. By applying these principles, we learn to make more informed decisions, maintain calm in difficult moments, and move toward our goals with confidence and determination. With this understanding of Stoicism as a philosophy of long-term success and inner harmony, we can move on to the next stage, applying these principles in specific life situations, whether in personal relationships, career, or internal ambitions. Stoicism offers deep and effective tools that help us not only cope with challenges, but also create a more harmonious and productive life. But how can we practically implement these principles in our everyday life? Applying Stoicism requires constant mindfulness and the willingness to apply philosophy in various areas of life, whether at work, in relationships, or in personal experiences. Number 1, managing emotions and stress. One of the most powerful tools of Stoicism is the ability to control our emotions. In everyday life, we encounter many factors that can trigger stress, anxiety, or anger. The Stoics teach that emotions are a natural part of the human experience, but it's important to learn not to let them control us. For example, when faced with a difficult situation at work, instead of reacting with rage or frustration, the Stoic will pause and ask themselves, "What can I control in this situation?" This allows us to remain calm and rational, making reasoned decisions. The realization that we cannot control external circumstances, but can control our reaction to them, helps reduce stress and anxiety. The Stoics suggest practicing daily meditation or reflection to prepare for potential difficulties and develop inner resilience. For instance, at the start of the day, one can ask themselves, "What might trouble me today? How will I respond?" This practice helps us become more prepared and calm throughout the day. 2. Applying the principle of reasonable choice. The Stoics often emphasize that we should make decisions based on reason, not on emotions or external circumstances. Applying Stoic philosophy in daily life starts with the understanding that every choice we make should be based on our values, not on immediate desires. For example, at work, we may face the temptation to compromise our moral principles for personal gain. In such a situation, the Stoic would ask themselves, "Does this decision align with my core values? Is this the right path in the long run?" This helps make more conscious and ethical decisions that contribute to our inner peace and long-term success. This principle of reasonable choice can be applied in all aspects of life, from professional decisions to personal relationships. The Stoic teaches that it is important to always follow our principles, even if it requires effort and sometimes sacrifice. For example, in personal relationships, we may encounter situations where we need to stand our ground or act honestly, despite possible consequences. The Stoic chooses the path of honesty and justice because it aligns with their principles, and this honesty brings inner peace. 3. Developing patience and discipline. Patience and discipline are two of the most important components of Stoic practice. The Stoic understands that changes in life take time, and in order to achieve real success, they must develop long-term habits that support them in reaching their goals. This could include daily tasks, whether it's exercising, studying, or working. The Stoics emphasize the importance of consistency. Every day, we should take at least one step toward our goals. For example, if our goal is to improve physical fitness, the Stoic will stick to a training and nutrition routine without expecting immediate results. They will be content with small victories, understanding that the process itself is the result. Patience and discipline also show in how the Stoic handles difficult situations. When we face failures or difficulties, we often look for quick solutions or immediately lose hope. The Stoic, however, understands that obstacles are part of the journey, and they serve not as barriers, but as opportunities for growth. By practicing Stoicism, we learn not to complain, not to seek excuses, but to work on ourselves, continuing to move forward despite failures. Every failure is an opportunity to become better and stronger, not a reason to give up. 4. acceptance of the inevitable. One of the central themes of Stoicism is accepting that many things in life are inevitable. The Stoics teach that we cannot control death, illness, or external circumstances, but we can control how we respond to them. This teaching is especially relevant in our everyday life, where we often face situations that are beyond our control, such as job loss, illness, or relationship conflicts. The Stoic teaches us to accept these things with calm, understanding that worrying about what we cannot change only increases suffering. The practical application of this principle in life is not to dwell on what cannot be changed. The Stoic teaches us to see every difficulty not as the end, but as the beginning of a new path. This acceptance of the inevitable helps us maintain inner peace and focus on the things that are within our control, such as our thoughts, actions, and attitudes toward what is happening. 5. Simplicity and minimalism. For the Stoic, an essential part of practical life is the rejection of excess. The Stoics taught us that excessive focus on material goods and pleasures leads to inner unrest and distracts us from our true goals. Instead, the Stoic strives for simplicity and minimalism, both physically and mentally. This means rejecting unnecessary things and thoughts that prevent us from staying focused on what is important. In everyday life, this manifests as focusing on what truly matters and getting rid of what is unnecessary. This may include minimizing our physical environment, eliminating unnecessary possessions, and also getting rid of excessive stress and worry. The fewer external and internal distractions we have, the easier it is to live in harmony with ourselves and our goals. By applying Stoicism in everyday life, we begin to see each situation as an opportunity for growth. This helps us not only cope with difficulties, but also live more harmoniously, confidently, and with inner peace, regardless of external circumstances. In conclusion, Stoicism is not just a philosophy, but a practical guide to life that can significantly change us and our perception of the world. By applying Stoic principles, we learn to be strong in tough situations, maintain inner balance, and practice mindfulness in daily life. Stoicism helps us control our emotions, accept the inevitable with peace, and build a life based on wisdom and discipline. With each step, each action, we become better, not because we change external circumstances, but because we change ourselves. Stoicism helps us enjoy the process of life rather than chasing short-term pleasures and successes. Now that you know how Stoicism can transform your life, start applying these principles today. No matter what situation you're in, Stoicism will help you maintain clarity of mind and inner strength. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share in the comments the Stoic practices you already use or plan to incorporate into your life. Remember, evolution begins with the first step, and this is just the beginning of your journey toward inner harmony.